It's not. Hi, everybody. I'm hoping everybody can see me. Somebody say hello if you guys can see me. We have a lot to cover. Okay, somebody said hi, Sue. Doing okay. We have a lot to talk about today. To answer the question that was just put in the chat, I have not seen the ortho doctor yet. I'm actually seeing him this Tuesday. I've got it on my calendar. Yeah, this Tuesday. I'm extremely nervous. I'm not looking forward to surgery at all. Like I'm not looking forward to surgery. It's a little nerve-wracking. So we have a lot to discuss today. First of all, let me just tell you, my video tomorrow is just, oh my goodness, it's like almost 20 minutes long again. And then I know there's a lot, and I'd like to put it all in one video, but I can't. So you're going to have super long videos on Monday and super long videos on Tuesday. So if you guys will just bear with me, we'll get to all the news. Okay. Also, at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 12 o'clock our time, Revealing is going live, Revealing the Narc. You're not going to want to miss that. And then at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard, which is 1 o'clock Eastern Standard, you have Royal Daily Tea going live. So you guys are definitely going to want to write all those down and keep up with all of that because there's a lot happening. Okay. All right. I will be addressing this on my other channel. You guys know I have my second channel, which is doing really well. All of a sudden, I put up all the videos of the house, you know, what we went through while we were building the house, and you know, Finn and my recipes. The one that's coming up tomorrow is how to make homemade cheese Danish that tastes just like what you get at what's that coffee place at Starbucks. Tastes exactly, I'm not kidding, tastes exactly the same, and you get 6 of them for the all the stuff. So you don't want to miss that for sure. But for those of you who watched me build my house, something interesting has happened. So when we signed the contract on the house and when we built this house, we made sure, you know, the second floor is an open attic, I guess. We raised the roof because we told them we were going to be finishing it out later. So we raised the roof, and we also put in the big, like, I think it's like a 400 or 40 ton air conditioning and heating unit. So it would do both floors if we ever needed to finish out, you know, the upstairs. And we made sure the electrical was up there and the water was up there and everything's up there. So it's easy to finish. And the reason we didn't finish it was because they wanted like $50,000 to finish 1,200 square feet. And I said, $50,000? That's okay. We'll finish it ourselves later on down the road. Okay, so now we're finishing one of the rooms because for those of you who don't know, well, first of all, you know, my youngest son graduated college. He has now moved home. He's got a job, and he's putting all of his money down on his student loans. He owes over $100,000 in student loans, and he has put himself on a 10-year track to pay them off. That's a lot of money. So we said, you know, you come home, you live with us for a few years, pay off like half of them, then you can refinance them to lower payments and move on. Okay. But my oldest son, his lease has run out and he wants to move home. And this is a 3-bedroom house. And the 3rd bedroom is my office because there's no office space. Remember, we downsized. So we have to finish one of the rooms upstairs. When you get to I'll put all this in the video. You'll see it all. Long story short, we go to hook up the heating and the air. The heating and air people came. They went under the house to hook it up because they were going to hook it to the room so that when the heat is running downstairs, it's blowing upstairs into that room. When the air is running, it's okay. So the heating and air guy comes and goes, there's no duct work going upstairs. I said, what do you mean there's no duct work? That's they knew we were going to finish it out. Long story short, we found out that unless we let them finish the upstairs while they run the electricity up there and the water up there, and they raise the roof up there, and they put the bigger heating and air conditioning unit on our house to cover that, they didn't run the ductwork to the second floor. So there's no way to heat and cool the second floor unless we put in a whole new heating and air unit. I was like, what the hell? So I said, surely that can't be right. So they said, pull your contract. So I pulled the contract. And sure enough, it says, omit main heat trunk line. Omit standard flexible heat ducts. Yes, that's what it says in the contract. I didn't catch that. My agent didn't catch that. We went through this list and they highlighted all the stuff we were getting. Look, you're getting this. They knew we were going to be finishing the upstairs. We added the water. We made sure the water and electricity. We raised the roof. We did everything. But because we didn't let them finish the upstairs, they didn't run the line up there. Don't know how, I don't think we can run the line at this point because you got to get it through the floor joists. I don't, but they want thousands. It's going to be thousands for a mini split to heat the upstairs, heat and cool the upstairs. So at the same time, I'm thinking I'm at a loss. We have some heating and air people coming to look and tell us what our options are. But have you ever heard of such? If you don't let us finish the house, we're going to make sure you can't heat and cool the upstairs on the existing. I mean, all they had to do was run a trunk line up to the second floor and cap it off. And they chose not to do that because we didn't give them the extra money to finish the second floor. I've just never heard of that. I'm stunned beyond belief. Also now, let me just say to the person, I got my cat cup as if, instead of as ever, it's as if. Look at the cat. I love it. Wait, I need a sip. All right. Now, tomorrow, I have, again, it's an almost 20-minute long video. There's a lot of information in that video, but one of the things we talk about in the video tomorrow is that surfing video again from Harry. I mean, I hope you guys realize that the amount of energy, he lives on the ocean, and instead he drives inland to a man-made pool that uses huge amounts of energy and water to make fake waves. Could somebody explain that to me? Why don't you surf in the ocean like William does? William learned in the ocean. William's been surfing all over the place. William serves versus Harry's surf. You get where I'm going? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So that we're covering that tomorrow. And we're also covering on Tuesday, the news that just came out. There's several things that came out. First of all, it appears that Thomas Markle is going to write a book. Not Samantha Markle, Thomas Markle Jr., not the father, the son, is going to write a book about Meghan Markle. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Also, is anybody shocked that it appears that Harry and Meghan have offered as one of their part of their first look deal, they've offered a Diana documentary. Do you guys have any idea how many Diana documentaries have been done since she passed away? I guess it's coming up on the 30th anniversary of her death. Do you guys have any idea how many Diana documentaries have been done? And Harry's already admitted he doesn't really remember her. Maybe Meghan will be in it. Maybe she'll play Diana. That's just what came into my brain. What is Meghan going to say in that documentary? She never met Diana. Could you, like, Harry once again using his mother. Exactly, Carol. Harry using his mother. Now you have to wonder, why is Harry dining out on his mom all the time? Very simple. William has actually achieved a lot in his life. The Earthshot Prize, being in the military, being a helicopter pilot. You know, he's achieved a lot. Harry, on the other hand, hasn't really achieved anything. And on top of that, the Royal Foundation books just came out. Their yearly report just came out. The amount of money that they raised and gave out puts Archewell to shame. Let me tell you. And William and Catherine haven't run around collecting these fake awards. Look how great we are. Look how great we are. For giving out the money that other people gave us. That's not what William and Catherine are about. Not at all. And I think it shows. Where's your comment, Lynn? I just saw it. I heard about the Diana documentary. People are not going to watch it. I think what it is for me is it shows that the only thing that Harry and Meghan have to sell, the only thing they have, is their royal connection. Diana was Harry's mother. Did you know that? You might have missed that during the 50 times he says it every 5 minutes. But William and Harry had agreed. Here, absolutely true. Harry and William agreed after the 20th anniversary that they would not be talking about her death again. But that's the only thing that Harry has to make money. It is true. They did agree to that. Absolutely. I don't know what to say. I'm absolutely disgusted. What did Iris say? Meghan will use Harry's bald head as her crystal ball. Oh my God. You know, the funny thing is, she doesn't need a crystal ball. All she has to do is meditate. And when she meditates, Diana speaks to her. Remember, Diana spoke to her at the Platinum Jubilee to say how happy she was that they attended. Okay, I can't. For all the stories coming out, Mary, I do believe you are correct. I believe they are broke and desperate. Think about it. Netflix was giving them a certain amount of money every month, even though they didn't produce anything. And now that's stopped. So they have no money coming in from Netflix unless they propose something that Netflix picks up. They have no money coming in from Lemonada. Lemonada has been sold, and she's spinning it as I have too much on my plate. But the truth is, her podcast was canceled. So she has no money coming in from Lemonada, no money coming in from Spotify, no more money coming in from Netflix. They've already used the money that was left to him from Princess Diana to buy their house, pay for their security, and all this other stuff. And all Harry has left is the money that he just came into on his 40th birthday, which, if he's smart, he left it in trust in the UK, because that way, if he separates from Meghan, she can't touch that money. So, and Christine, I'm discussing this tomorrow also, because I find it, you're going to find this interesting. Not only is the Daily Mail, don't forget that Harry's case with the Daily Mail is coming up soon. And I don't know if they're thinking that if they attack William, somehow Harry will take it easy on them. Here's what I think. I think Harry's people went to the UK. Remember, they were going around meeting editors and news people. That was what was reported. That's what they were doing. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, the Daily Mail is attacking William while putting out really nice puff pieces about Meghan trying to fix her image in the UK. Did you guys notice one of the puff pieces, which I'll be talking about tomorrow, and I'm showing you video proof that it's crap, is that Meghan didn't laugh at Princess Charlotte when she fell on the balcony. She did not do that. But they're basically telling you to not believe what you're seeing, because I put up the video evidence that she actually was. They were like, Meghan wasn't even watching. She didn't even notice. And then in the video, she's going, she's laughing. Yeah. Don't believe your eyes. It's not true. It's not true. It's crazy. I think a statement, they're not going to put out a statement, because if they put out a statement, then that gives Harry and Meghan an opportunity to step in and respond. I think what the royal family has done is really smart. They have not spoken out. I think that's smart. But what I can't figure out is why they haven't removed them from the website. They're not working members of the royal family. Why are they still on the website? Which gives them the leverage that they need. I mean, listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. When they decided to leave the family and the Queen stripped them of everything, the Queen should have stripped them of the Sussex title and said, you are not to use your HRH, which we know Meghan is using anyway. And you're not to use your HRH. You're known as Harry Mountbatten Windsor. She's Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor. That's how we're going to play it. That's what should have happened. But that was the Queen and she didn't do it. King Charles doesn't want to rock the boat. And it's being said that he's leaving stuff to William, that William can handle it. I don't think William wants anything to do with him at this point. I don't think William's going to do spit. But I wish that they would take them off the website. And in case you guys don't know, yes, they made their profile from 2 long profiles to 1 profile for the both of them. And it's at the very bottom of the website. But if you go to the royal family website, there's a link there for, I don't know, I think it's Archewell. I don't understand. So you can't have it both ways. It looks like William and Catherine and Charles and Camilla and all support what they're doing because they're not taking them off the website. Just like Andrew. Andrew should come off the website also, in my opinion. Now, that's a whole nother story, which we will be touching on tomorrow too. I'm telling you, these videos just keep getting longer. I never say her name correctly. Is it Ghislaine Maxwell? Giselle Maxwell? Jeffrey Epstein's sidekick, girlfriend, whatever. I can never say her name right. She just gave an interview. I don't think it was like to a magazine. It was like, you know, to the State Justice Department. You know, she's giving evidence. She's cooperating. And for those of you who haven't read it yet, did you know that she's claiming, not only is she claiming that Andrew is innocent of the allegations that were made by Virginia Giuffre. Okay, somebody just wrote Ghislaine Maxwell. Not only is she claiming that, but she's claiming that it was Sarah who introduced Andrew to Jeffrey Epstein, that it was Sarah who pushed the friendship. That's not good. That's not good at all. She said a lot. And we do know that, you know, okay. If you guys remember that picture, let me see if I can pull it up for you. You guys know how I am about this, but do you guys remember that picture of Andrew with his arm around the girl, with the arm around Virginia Giuffre? Do you guys remember that? And one of the things that I said was that, is it possible that, here it is. It's not gonna look right, but I'm going to try to put this up. Is it possible that they were at a party and she went up to him and went, "Oh my God, it's Prince Andrew. Can I have a picture? Can I take a picture?" Sure. And he walked up to her, put his arm around her, and they snapped the picture. I don't know if Andrew is innocent or guilty. Surely he is a pompous ass, privileged. He's got some issues. No doubt about that. But this picture could have been easily photoshopped. And the thing that's bothering me about this picture, I have seen this same picture. I'm not kidding. I've seen the same picture without the two of them in it. It's just her, the girl on the right, Miss Maxwell, leaning against a wall. And then you have the white wall with the picture. And that girl isn't on there. Is it possible that this is photoshopped? Possibly. But the thing that really bothers me is that nobody could ever give in the original. When that girl made those allegations, I wish somebody would have said, where's the original picture? Nobody has the original picture. And I find that very suspect. Now, don't misunderstand. I have the greatest sympathy for people that are trafficked. And trafficking does happen. It does, sadly. I have the greatest sympathy for people that are trafficked. I really do. I can't even imagine. But this girl has me a little bit concerned. I've said this before, this Virginia Giuffre. First of all, she was over the age of consent in the United States and in the UK. She was over the age of consent for both times. They kept saying she was this underage girl. She was not underage. She was over the age of consent. In between these trips, she was going home to her parents. I'm not sure why her parents didn't take some sort of action. They had to sign in order for her to get her passport. So I'm not sure what the whole family dynamic history is. I don't know. I don't know what all that is. But the fact that I feel like once you lie, once you're caught in a lie, okay? When you're caught in a lie on the stand where you have sworn your eternal soul to damnation if you lie, once you lie under oath, for me, it's over. She said that Alan Dershowitz had relations with her, and he kept saying no, no, no. And she kept, oh yes, it was you. It was you. It was you. And he didn't, she tried to get him to settle. He said, nope, I'm taking it to court. And they went to court, and she immediately retracted and said, I made a mistake. So sorry. And he got cleared. The next thing was when she said, I slept with this person, this person, this person. And then she admitted under oath that she had lied and said, nah, that didn't really happen. So she's a perjurer. How can you lie on the stand and then expect that I'm going to believe anything else that you might say? Which is why when it comes to cases like that, you must be truthful at all times. You have to be upfront and truthful at all times. And she wasn't. So while I do have the greatest sympathy for people that are trafficked, she leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. And then, of course, we all know before she removed herself from this earth, she had an accident. She claimed she was dying. Come to find out, she wasn't dying. That was a lie. She claimed it was this massive accident. The police came out and said that wasn't true either. I mean, I think she had some serious psychological issues, but nobody's ever going to know what really happened because we all know what happened. Then her husband left her, wouldn't let her see the kids. And now that she's removed herself from this earth, now all of a sudden the husband and the kids are outraged by this, and we're going to do this and that. And I'm like, where were you when your parent, where were you when she needed you? She was living in another place. She wanted to see the kids. You wouldn't let her see the kids. You were really nasty to her, actually. Then she offed herself. You guys know what I'm saying, right? You get it. You get it. She had something was going on. Now, is it possible that with everything she went through as a teenager, it messed her up a little bit? Possibly, but that doesn't turn you into a liar. So I never knew what to, make of him. 1 second. From my as if cup. I never knew what to make of her because of that reason. Tina, we kind of discussed that earlier, but that's going to be in my video. You guys do not want to miss my video tomorrow because you know me, I go in depth with all of that stuff, really in depth. So in the next 2 days, we're going to be discussing in my videos. That's a cup. It's a bucket. It's a bucket for coffee. You guys know how much I love my coffee. In the next 2 days, we're going to be discussing the surfing video, the horrible PR that Megan's getting. I mean, it seems to be that Netflix isn't putting any money in. She's doing it all on her Instagram account, and it's stupid and childish, and it's not professionally done. And because I don't think Netflix is putting any money in that way. We're discussing that. We're discussing the Diana documentary that's being, pushed. We're discussing the new book that Thomas Markle Jr. is apparently writing. There's a lot. And so you guys are going to get all that on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. But to answer your question, I believe it's a coordinated attack that's being done by Harry and Meghan, because remember, it all started after her people went to the UK and met with, the newspapers and the editors and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they're trashing William at every turn. So I think the problem is that the newspapers have, I think the problem, the newspapers have lost control of William. William has shut the door, so to speak, and everything is on his terms when it comes to his children. He's protecting his children. And the people don't like that. People don't like that. Trevor and Jessica. Let me tell you something. I hope that Jessica Mulroney, I guess that's who you're talking about. I hope that Jessica Mulroney writes a book. I would buy it. I'd buy a book in a heartbeat. But does it make sense that Meghan had her sign an NDA saying you can never discuss our relationship? Back when she got married to Harry, she probably went around and had a bunch of people sign NDAs. I feel bad for Jessica, though, because Jessica just lost her marriage, just went down the tubes. And of course, Meghan's nowhere to be found. Meghan got everything from her that she could get from her. Meghan introduced, Jessica Mulroney introduced Meghan to Mindy Kaling, to who's that guy, the gay guy that's Marcus Anderson. She introduced her to the Soho House. She introduced her to the Trudeaus. She's the one who got Meghan going up in that upper echelon. And then the second there was some sort of a problem, she dumped her. But that's what she does. She dumps her friends. She uses them and then she gets rid of them. So, yeah, that's exactly what she did. She used her and then she dumped her. So now I'm going to before I open to questions, because you know me, so get your questions ready. I'm going to, I don't address things, but I'm going to address this. I am aware of what's going on online. I'm very aware of people constantly writing to me and emailing me and sending me messages. This one's talking about you. This one's saying this one's saying that. Guys, if other people want to wallow in the drama, that's on them. It's got nothing to do with me. I think it speaks more for them than for me. And all I can say is, for the people that are listening, why don't you ask for proof? Nobody ever asks for proof. Did you know Sue is doing this behind the scenes? Did you hear this? She did this. She did that. She did that. Could we see some proof of that, please? There's never any proof. And I have seen a few people that have asked for proof and their comments are removed. So just open your eyes, open your ears, use your brains. I think you can figure out what's real and what's not on your own. I saw what's happening to, there's I don't think she's a YouTube channel. She's a Twitter user. And some of these people are making AI images of her naked with other YouTubers. It's disgusting. It's not to mention illegal. I think she's retained an attorney. You really got to be careful online. Like, you got to be careful, guys, what you say and what you do. But I am not paying a lick of attention. I'm not going to address it other than this. I'm not addressing it. I don't care. I mean, there are some people that have live after live after live after live after live after live, and they talk about me in every live, and they just say the same stuff over and over again. You can't tell live 2 from live 25 because they just repeat themselves over and over. And at some point, don't you get sick of wallowing in the mud? Apparently not. I don't care. All right. So next time, use your brains, people. Just use your brains. Okay. All right. Now, wait, my thing isn't on. I just realized. Let me see. Do I have to? I guess I have to do that. Look at that. I learned how to make, aren't you guys proud of me? I'm getting better with my technology. I learned how to do the countdown at the beginning. I learned how to put a ticker at the bottom. I made my name in yellow because that's my yellow and black are my signature colors. This is where you go, wow. It is. It's printed. I see everything. Okay. So your questions. Up. Memphis News is doing an investigation. Yep. That's it. Exactly. Drama. Oh, somebody from Scotland. Hi, Scotland. Okay. So, one other thing before I start taking your questions, I'm going to be doing a ghost tour. I can't believe it. I've always wanted to do a ghost tour. So we're going to go to a town a few hours away. My kids are going to stay here and take care of Finn. And we're going with some friends and I'm going to take a ghost tour. Oh my God. I love those. I love that stuff. We did one in downtown Greenville, South Carolina one time a couple years ago. Ooh, orbs. And I was like, whatever. We walked around. It was funny. Okay. If you have a question, put it up because I can see it. We're doing the same thing in October. Yes, I'm doing mine in October, but you have to book it now because they get booked out quick. And they have walking tours, which I'm not doing. I mean, instead I'm doing they have ones that are pulled by horses. I don't like that. And I think it's abusive to the horse. I'm sorry. There's one I saw online. Yeah, you see them when you do it's a trolley tour. It'd be interesting to see. We're going to do a ghost tour and spend the night at an asylum. Did they turn the asylum into a hotel? Oh my God, that's so cool. I'm advancing. Ow. Ow, my left arm. I can't go up. That hurt. Ow. Oh. So I'm looking, you know what I really want to do? You guys are going to laugh next year. Obviously I don't go on Halloween. I'd go like a week before or a week after or something, but I really want to go to the Lizzie Borden house. I don't know if any of you have been there, but yeah, I'd like to see the Lizzie Borden house and Gettysburg. Yes, I heard Gettysburg has ghost tours too. Lots of really cool. More fun when alcohol's. It probably is, but I don't drink. So yeah, several people wrote and said, by the way, Royal Daily Tea, in case you didn't see it, she got like 6 bottles of alcohol. 6. Brad Pitt, Meghan Markle, she got like 6 old name brands from high people. And she did an amazing taste test. An honest review. If Markle's had been the best, it would have been the top. But the best, she said, was Brad Pitt's. She said Brad Pitt's was just $22 a bottle, cheaper than Meghan Markle's. And she said it was delicious. Yeah. Ooh, Salem, Massachusetts. The thing is, for me to get to Salem, I got to fly, and then it becomes a bigger thing. And by the way, they're already booked out because I thought about it. You got to book that like a freaking year in advance if you want to do it. So this is all that with Royal Daily. Yep. And if I had drunk alcohol like that, I would buy 6 bottles of wine and do it myself. But I don't drink like that. So there's just no point for me to do it. But yeah. In the asylum? Wait a minute. Are you supposed to stay up all night in the asylum, Kimby? You supposed to stay up all night? Because that wouldn't happen with me either. I'm old. I need my sleep, man. That doesn't happen with me. Oh, yeah, you got to stay up all night. Lynn, they scheduled your surgery. No. I'm seeing the ortho doctor this Tuesday, and then I guess we'll schedule hopefully for August and September. And this is another thing. I wanted to go, like I was told the best time to go was September, but I would be walking around with this huge thing on my arm. I could just see people bumping into me, and yeah, that's why we're going to stick closer to home this time. Taking pillows and blankets. Oh my God, ghost tours. I love that. All right, questions, people. Oh, wait. Cote de Roses. Yeah, I probably will do Salem next year, but this year we're sticking closer to home. There's so much stuff. You know what I mean? This stuff. The ghost tour that we took in Greenville, South Carolina 10 years ago was, it was interesting. It was a good history tour. We went into one of the cemeteries downtown that's very historic. We took pictures. There were little orbs all in the pictures. It was really interesting, but it was odd. The guy that was doing the tour had a girl with him that was just walking around holding this little dog going. It was just odd. All right. So does anybody have any questions? And yes, I know it's mob. That's why I'm not going. I could just see people knocking into my arm after surgery. So yes, Lynn, we'll do it next year. Does anybody have any specific questions? Not about me per se, but about the Harry, Meghan, and some of the stories that have come out. Medical Institute. Oh, interesting. No questions? Oh my goodness. You guys are such a quiet crowd today. Usually you guys are jibber jabbering all over the place. We have a haunted schoolhouse where I am. I thought you wrote where I'm very popular around Halloween. Oh my God. That's so funny. Okay. Well, I used my mic and did that. No problem, my friend. No problem at all. So anyway, like I was saying, you're going to get 2 really long videos Monday and Tuesday. So for people, Lynn is saying, come to Salem so I could show you around. There's going to be, wait a minute. Martha said, I have a question. See above. I'm scrolling back up, Martha, but I don't, what are they investigating them for? I'm not sure they're being investigated. I hadn't heard anything about them being investigated. Not a peep. Do you think Meghan is broke financially? Yes. I think they're broke. I want you to keep in mind that they need approximately $56,000 to $60,000 a month for the mortgage, power, water, trash, cable, maid, cook, lawn guy, pool guy, beekeeper, and then they need like $4 million a year for security. And there's just, their expenses are such. And I also noticed that Meghan is starting to rewear some of her clothing from the royal family. She's not getting new clothing. And I believe that's happening because the money's starting to run short. They have a billionaire lifestyle on a millionaire budget. Netflix is no longer giving them money. I mean, think about it. I've covered this before. I want you guys to remember something. They made approximately $1 million from her book, $2 million from Spotify. That's $3 million. He's made about $4 million from Better Up. That's $7 million. $20 million from The Spare. That's $27 million. Maybe $1 million from Lemonada. That's $28 million. And then the only other thing is the Netflix, which is probably about $40 million. So you're looking at $67 million. Let's just round it up to $70 million. They're in the 43% tax bracket for the United States, which means they probably only got to keep about 40 million of that. And don't forget, because he's a UK resident, he has to pay taxes in the UK also. So you take that and keep in mind, this is the money that's made over 5 years. Remember that. So maybe they got to keep 30 million. Now take 30 million divided by 5. They probably had an income of like 6,500,000 a year, but 4 million of that is going to security. Think about it. Yes, the money's running out. Let's see what else. Do you think Harry will regret? I think he's already regretting it. I don't think he realized. I don't think he realized that when he released The Spare, it was going to backlash on him the way it did. But I think Meghan said to him, Don't worry, honey. They're your family. They'll forgive you. They love you. They forgive you. If they don't forgive you, then they don't really love you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what's really going on. And but he's so mentally damaged. This is a man who, after he lost his security, sat down and gave an interview to the BBC where he essentially said, my family wants me dead, and then asked for a reconciliation with the same family. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with him. Where's Harry? Hasn't been seen for weeks. Harry is in his house in Montecito. He's not going anywhere. He's not doing anything. Okay, the VJ Day wreath. This is Harry trying to prove he's still connected to the royals and doing the half in, half out life that he was told he couldn't do. As I said in my video a few days ago, you guys saw that video a few days ago, when he asked the Queen, could he do it? She said no. So he wasn't going to ask this time because he knew if he asked, he'd have been told no. And he go, oh, it was a secret. It was a secret that you had somebody place it at the exact place that the King and Queen had been earlier in the day. And then 3 days later, because nobody really gave a crap, you went and had somebody take a picture and put it up. Give me a break. Because you didn't want to steal their thunder. That's exactly what you did. It was terrible what he did. Don't you think you should call Meghan? No, I don't. Do you think they always had it in the tank? Yes, I think they do. Yep, I do. They live in California. And yes, they live in California in one of the highest tax states, which is why it's at 43%. And let's see what else. Are they paying taxes? Yes, I can assure you that Uncle Sam is making sure that Harry has a visa of some sort, like my husband does. Well, my husband has a green card. And he's paying taxes. I assure you, my husband has a Social Security number. He pays taxes. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget lawyers' fees also. He's on the hook for millions for the lawyers' fees. What are your thoughts? I feel like why do I feel like they haven't been taken off the website? Because the king doesn't want to rock the boat. People are already bitching about King Charles and his reign and what's going on with the mosques and all the, all this stuff. And he doesn't want to rock the boat, so he's not taking them off the website. That's what I think. Do you will think there will be a U.S. Sentebale based charity? No, I don't believe that. And I'm saying that for the simple fact that they've already gotten, Sentebale is having serious financial issues now because Harry's basically went around and told people don't donate. The Sussex squad is no longer donating. One of their biggest things was Harry's polo match that brought in almost £1 million a year. And he hasn't done that in the last 2 years. So Sentebale is having issues. He can't open a United States branch. And what Dr. Chanduka did, I think, is very smart. She's wanting to move everything to Africa. And let's face it, Harry visited Sentebale for the first time in, 6 or 7 years? Because Dr. Chanduka asked him to. He wasn't interested. These are the charities where he just pops up, smiles, and everybody goes, oh, look how great a man he is. When the truth is, he's not doing anything. You know what I mean? He's not really doing anything. Let's see. True, because when you think about the amount of energy it requires to heat and cool that house, the Freon for the air conditioning units, they're not eco-friendly. No, they're not eco-friendly. Let's see. I know there's more questions. I'm just going down, talking about them. Yes, he invited himself to a memorial service at Pearl Harbor. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is all about him trying to show that he's still affiliated with the military. So, and by the way, yes, I completely agree with this, that what he said about Prince Philip, after Prince Philip left the Sandringham Summit because he was so disgusted by Harry and him never spoke again. And he saw the Oprah interview before he died. And while Harry showed up to Philip's funeral and was angry because he couldn't wear his uniform and threw a tantrum, so everybody had to wear the mourning suits with the tails and whatever that's called. When I say mourning, I mean MORNING, mourning suits, because he threw a tantrum. But then when they actually had the memorial service that Philip should have had, Harry didn't even bother to come over. So he has a lot of nerve talking about his grandfather. His grandfather went to his grave with the name racist over his head, thanks to Harry. Do I think she's making anything? Nope. Because she has the Cesta brand, the purses, which come to find out are using essentially they're paying these women like pennies on the dollars, like slave labor. They pay these women like $2 for a purse that it takes them 3 weeks to make. And then they send it to Italy, and then they sell the purses for $800 because they were lined and had handles put on them. I wouldn't buy from them. I wouldn't buy from them at all. I find it very interesting that as soon as Meghan spotlight the company, it didn't go well. There's just like with the coffee, Clever Blends, she spotlit the company, and then we found out there was lead in the coffee. And I've shown you guys the pictures taken inside where they're bagging it. Nobody's wearing gloves, no hair nets, disgusting, dirty floor. And it's not even real coffee. It's like mushrooms. You guys know how I feel about my coffee. I'm very passionate about my coffee. So, yeah. I heard they are reopening Harry's visa situation. I have not heard anything about that. I do think it's terrible that what everybody wants to know is, did Harry check the box, yes or no, for the drugs? And that's the one bit of information that nobody will release. I did hear that the Heritage Group is still trying to force the issue, but I haven't heard anything about that for a while. But thank you for reminding me. I will take a look at that and see if I can find something. Do you think she'll admit to wearing Diana? No, because the documentary will be all about Diana. It won't have anything about Meghan in it. I've always thought Centobale is based in Africa. It had a London office. Everybody in the London office has lost their jobs. Apparently, like they got rid of I think there's like one person left in the office, and eventually they're going to be removing that. And I also feel that one of the reasons they're doing that is because Harry was talking about taking over Centobale in London to try to regain his charity that he's lost control over. And if the London office isn't there, he can't do that. So there's only one person left in the London office. I found that very interesting, actually. Up Through the Looking Glass says Centobale is trademark owned by Centobale. Yep, there you go. Yeah, I think if Diana had been alive, Meghan would never have gotten her hands on Harry. I think Harry was desperate to get married. He was desperate to, And if you saw my video yesterday, how many of you saw my video yesterday? The video, I put together a little video compilation for you of all of that stuff. She figured out that Harry's love language is touch. Diana used to touch. Diana touched his back. Diana used to do this. So of course she's touching, and it's reminding him of his mother, which is, it's just so disgusting when you think about it. He's like, it's like sleeping with your mother. I mean, it's disgusting. If she's not wearing new outfits, it means exactly. She's not wearing new outfits. Yes, it is. It is sick. Let's see. According to the 2023 Centobale annual report, cutting back the staff was in the works. Right. But, yep, Oedipus complex, exactly. It was in the works, but it hadn't been handled. And I think as soon as it came out that Harry was going to try to regain control of the London office, they went ahead and got rid of people. Like quick. They're getting rid of people. I thought Sophie Chanduka was a really smart woman. She's an attorney. She's been on boards. She's been CEOs. I mean, that is an educated woman. And she was just trying to follow the rules. And, Harry's I think when she made the statement that she made, we didn't want to be a part of the PR machine, the Sussexes PR machine, I think that's what spoke volumes for me, that she knew what Harry was trying to get her to do. But now that, I mean, think about it. He's lost all of his military appointments. He's lost all of his royal patronages in the UK. He's lost Santibale. African Parks is a mess. And I can assure you he's going to end up out of African Parks. Even Halo, I'm walking in Diana's footsteps. But Halo, come to find out, has been getting a lot of money to remove the mines. And here we are 30 years later. The mines still haven't been removed. Where's that money going? You know what I'm saying? Every time they spotlight something, it brings up inconsistencies and the fact that the money's going elsewhere, or things aren't as they seem. It's not authentic. You guys get what I'm saying, right? It's not authentic. Yep. They were gone fast. They were gone really fast. Yes, she's been trying to get Archwell trademarked for the last 5 years. And everything from we didn't send in the money to we didn't sign the documents to this is this and this is that and this is this and this is that. And finally, after 5 years, it's going through for review. Not that I think it matters. The first 2 years, Archwell didn't make any money. Nothing. On the third year, they got the anonymous $10 million, which I believe was the money that came from Oprah for being on the Oprah show, because Macon doesn't do anything for free. That's just my opinion. And then the next year there was like only a 4 million or 5 million in. And now this year we're waiting for this stuff. And in the meantime, there's millions missing. You guys realize that, right? It was brought up that there was like 4.5 million missing from the tax returns. And they said, oh, it's going to be on the next tax return. And the next tax return came out and the money wasn't there. So there's millions missing. But keep in mind, the way they've set this up, they can keep 98% for, charity overhead. In other words, you guys, I just want to explain this as simply as possible. I own a business. Okay. I own Archwell, and my friend Serena is going to be in Vienna. So I need a plane ride to Vienna. Just making this up as I go. And when I get to Vienna, I'm going to make a stop at a charity that does female empowerment. And so I make the stop while I'm in Vienna for an hour. But because I made that stop, the airfare is completely tax deductible. My hotel, my meals, it's all tax deductible. The security, it's all tax deductible, because it was related to my business of flying to Vienna to go meet this company. The fact that my friend Serena Williams just happens to be there is just a plus. You guys get how that works? You get it? So they're doing all kinds of stuff, and they use their charity to fly around and do stuff. That is why, exactly, Carol, they're incorporated in Delaware due to friendly corporate laws. They registered the charity in Delaware because you only have to give 5%. That is correct, 5%. So if somebody gave me $100 for my charity, because I own a charity, I get to keep $95, and I can donate $5 to the local animal shelter and then go to the local animal shelter and get an award because I donated that $5. Does that make sense? That's what's going on. They get money. They get to fly around for free. This is all included. The clothing, I need the clothing for my events. Everything's included. And by the way, I'm giving money that doesn't belong to me. It's money that you guys donated, but I get an award for it because I'm philanthropic and giving it out. This is their life. This is how it's working. It's crazy. Anyway, now the As Ever, this is a total nightmare. The As Ever is a whole nother beast. I'm just talking about the Archwell. So I don't know what else to say about them. They're fake, they're crap, they're whatever. But again, if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, you really should. It's a little creepy. I put 5 different songs in to keep it going. Yes, Katie, what a tangled web we weave. Exactly. So I put 5 different songs in. I got to make it quick. I make it quick. Tina, basically, Delaware is one of the states in the United States that from state to state, you have different tax laws. Like, for instance, New York doesn't have state tax. South Carolina does. It's different in every state. You would think it would be one uniform thing throughout the country, but it's not. But Delaware has specific rules in place for company taxes so that companies can keep more taxes. So people set up these dummy companies and stuff to screw the IRS out of their money. I'm really wondering why the IRS didn't just do a blanket something across the board. It's the craziest thing to me that from state to state, you pay different amounts. Sooner or later, somebody's Archwell is going to get audited. I completely agree, because look what happened with Joe Biden's daughter. Archwell put down that they gave her $250,000, but she didn't report it. I mean, it's funny how they're passing money around to their friends. I don't know. Mama Knows Best is one of the companies in LLC in Delaware. That's true. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Well, it's the way the laws are set up. You get attorneys and you work your way around the law. So, by the way, we're going to be keeping an eye on September 9th coming up. We have Samantha Markle's appeal is going in front of the judge. And it'll be interesting, because if the judge looks at everything, it's a different judge. If the judge looks at everything and lets her case go forward against Meghan, one of the biggest things that she's got, one of the biggest things in her case is not just her, what the things that Meghan said, but Christopher Bouzy. And I've been notified that if that goes forward, I'm on the witness list because of what Christopher Bouzy did to me before he was in the Netflix show. I got nothing to say about that. We shall see what happens. Yeah, I do wish Samantha luck. When you look at each individual statement by itself, it doesn't seem, nefarious. But when you put them all together, yeah, it's not good. When you put all the statements together, it's not good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'll be, like I said, I'll be definitely keeping an eye on that case to see if I'm going to end up in it somehow. Oh, Lord. Wouldn't it be nice for the bad guys to get their dues just once? Wouldn't that be fabulous? I think so. Okay, don't forget, at 9 Pacific Standard, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard, you have Revealing the Narc. And then at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard, you have Royal Daily Tea. Can you be in the courtroom during the rest of the trial? I suppose I can, but I don't think I want to. That kind of reporting is done by like Andy from Popcorn Palace. Andy will go and sit in that courtroom and listen to the whole thing. I won't. If this case goes forward, I will show up, give my testimony, and leave, because I don't, just being in the same room with that man would like make me itch. Does that make sense? I don't mean that as a derogatory thing towards him. It would put my teeth on edge. It would like make me itch. Like I would feel the need to not be within 5 feet of that guy. He's a con artist. And I want nothing to do with that. So, okay. So you guys know what's happening, and hopefully there'll be another catch up live next week. And I will let you guys know about the heating and air as soon as we figure out what the heck is going on. I'm still shocked about that. So I hope everybody has a fabulous and safe Sunday. Look out for my next videos over the next few days. You're not going to want to miss them. Have a great afternoon, you guys. Bye-bye.